Hey guys, welcome back. It is, what time is it? 1:21 in the morning, and I am sitting in a hotel in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I was thinking, man, I need to make videos for my YouTube channel because I have not been making enough videos lately. And the last video I made was kind of along the same lines where, man, I haven't made videos in a while. Here's all the stuff I've been up to. And I don't want this to be quite that kind of video. I still will do plenty of those videos. All the stuff I talked about in my last video, I'm still working on those things. But I really want to start kind of like doing some of these videos where I talk to you guys, answer questions, etc. And I feel like this experience that I'm going through right now, why I'm in this hotel room, kind of goes hand in hand with a thing that I get asked all the time, which is, how do you get to do this? How do you get to do this, that, or the other? Whatever things people see, usually not so much on YouTube, but usually on like my Instagram, or maybe Facebook. People will see some event I'm at, or somebody I get to hang out with, or something I get to work on, and ask me how I got to do that. And usually, up until I think in the last week, I always felt like I don't know. I have no idea how I'm doing what I do. I don't think of myself regularly, like in that regard. Like I just kind of do things, and then stuff sort of happens for me. And I've never thought about it too hard. But right now, again, I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico for the second time in under 2 weeks. And the first trip out here, I was on a plane, and they flew me out to be in a movie. And I'm not like a key character or anything, but it's important enough that they would fly me from LA to Albuquerque. And it was really, really random. The way it happened, I was like, how? I'm on the plane coming here, and I'm like, how is this happening? This is so crazy. Like, how is this going on right now? And people talk about imposter syndrome and all these things where you just don't feel like you're good enough, or you deserve it, and all that stuff goes through my head constantly every day when I'm doing whatever it is I'm working. I'm like, how is this me doing this thing? It feels crazy. So I had this this feeling the strongest ever coming over here to New Mexico for this shoot. And I was like, how is this thing? How am I on this plane right now? How did all this transpire, and how did I get here? And that was a Wednesday. The Tuesday before, the night before, I talked to a friend who was working on this movie on the effects end. I'm working in a shop, doing some stuff there, and she told me about it, and I said, oh, if you ever need this, let me know. The very next day, I get a call in the morning. This was on a Wednesday morning. I get a call. Hey, heard you might be interested in doing this, that, or the other, whatever the thing is. I can't get into it right now. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I said, okay, send us some photos. And I sent them photos. And a little while later, they got back. They're like, okay, we want to hire you for this job. Can you come to Albuquerque, New Mexico tomorrow? And they're like, actually, we want to fly you today. And so Tuesday night, I was just barely in passing mentioning that I would like to work on this thing. And 24 hours later, I'm on a flight going to Albuquerque, New Mexico to work on this thing. And I was like, this is so surreal. It's super unreal. And I was like, okay, it just clicked. I'm like, this is the key thing. I thought about all of these events like this in my life, things I've been able to work on that are, I've had a chance to work on my favorite movie puppet ever since I was a little kid, ever. I got to work on that, do restoration for Tom Spina Designs, which I can't even, to even get to see it in person would have been more than enough for me. But to actually get to touch this prop and work on it, amazing. That to me is crazy, and it might not matter to somebody else. Somebody might not look at that and be like, oh, that's cool. For me, it's super, super special. And my life has been full of these things. I got to do a license plate for the state of Florida years ago. Like the artwork. Hated the artwork, but my artwork was on a Florida license plate. Again, it's passing. Nobody looks at it and cares, but I knew it was there, and it meant a lot to me. And I'm like, what are the common things between these kind of elements in my life. And it's always me saying the phrase, if you need, or if you ever need, ... whatever the thing is that I think I can provide this person who's working on whatever. Like if a person needs, they're doing a film and it's got VFX, I'm like, hey, if you ever need a matte painter, if you ever need a 3D modeler, if you ever need someone to make a costume, if you ever need someone to make a helmet, if you ever need someone to make drawings, stuff that I like to do, I just say, if you ever need, put it out there. And I think that approach, and it's been really inadvertent. I've never thought about my approach toward this until just now. But I think that approach is a huge door opener, because you are putting out there that you want to do whatever it is that you want to do, but you're not making the person that you're asking to, you're not even really asking them anything, just putting it out there that you would want to do it. You're not making them feel obligated at all, so they don't feel anything that they owe you anything, but it's in their head now that you want to do whatever. Now, I've done this for years and years and years, and again, I've not thought at all about the technique. Like, I never feel like I'm like crafting this method to get into the things I want to do. It's just the way I've always asked people things, and it's always kind of worked for me. I never thought about it working for me. It's more like, hey, I want to do this, and then people respond, usually not right away. Usually it's, much later. People will respond like, hey, you said that you wanted to do this thing. Are you still interested? And I, absolutely. And then I end up working on some neat project. And I think that's the thing. I don't even know what the hell I'm trying to say in this video. I think I'm trying to answer the question that I always get about, like, how do you get to do these things? How do you get to do these things? So if you're here, again, like you've seen chroming tutorials or some nonsense, you probably don't know what the heck I'm talking about at all. That's okay. I don't expect you to. But if you're one of the people who has written me to say, wow, how did you meet this person? How did you get to hang out there? How did you get to do these things? It's so freaking weird. It's weird talking about myself this way. It feels wrong, but I don't know any other way to answer these questions. Sorry, this is a weird video for me. It's really, really weird. I'm kind of debating whether I should even post it or not. I never think about myself. I never think about myself in this way. I think about just go. Just do the next project. Just keep going and going and going. But I've never like stepped back and like looked at myself in this light. God, this feels weird. This is not my typical video. But if I have a helpful thing that will help open doors for people, I would say that is it. Is that let people know that you want to work on things, but don't make them feel obligated. It's really important. If you meet people you admire, the last thing you want to do is alienate them, especially if you feel like they could be a peer to you, which a lot of people that I like really look up to in their work, they have a lot of experience, but I don't feel like they're above me. I just kind of feel like, wow, they're doing what I want to do, and they've got a lot of experience. Like, I would love to work with them and talk to them and hang out with them. So I put it out there. Hey, if you ever need help, if you ever need this, that, or the other. Like I've said 5 times in this video, if you ever need, I think that might be like my magic phrase. I didn't even know it. I feel like it's kind of akin to, if you meet a new dog and you're petting the dog, you can let the dog stay there because it wants to stay there, and it can leave if it wants to leave, but you're petting it. It's enjoying your caress. But if it wants to walk away from you, you don't try to stop it. Just let it go, and chances are it'll come back and be like, hey, you're pretty friendly. But if the dog tries to get away from you, you're like, hey, don't leave, you're too cute, that dog will freak out and it won't like you. And I think when you meet people you admire, it's a very similar kind of thing. So if you get in one of those positions where you're standing there with somebody that you really, really want to work with, like if you're a prop builder or you're an actor or, I don't know, an illustrator, an artist, or whatever, don't lose your cool. Just put it out there. Hey, I really want to do this thing. Doesn't mean it's going to work. I've put that out there lots and lots and lots of times with no response. But the times it works have led to absolutely amazing things in my life. So, yeah, I think if you're ever, if you've come here to like look for any advice for me, that's one of the things I could say that I think is been hugely helpful to me. God, this feels super weird. What a weird video. So, I think I just found a bed bug. Let me look. There's like this tiny little spider in this nice hotel room. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, and I don't even know if I should post this thing. It's too bizarre. Feels weirdly personal. I'm not used to talking about myself at all in this way, or like talking about myself in a third person way. If it's informative to you, let me know. If you guys have more questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them. Maybe I'll do a few videos from time to time that are more like reflective on myself. I feel like it's probably good for me to do anyway. I never do it ever. I just kind of like shrunk through my existence and just keep looking for the next fun opportunity. But I never thought about how I get those opportunities until like a week ago. So yeah, that's it. That is it. If you ever need. It's a good thing to say. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to post this video. It's totally embarrassing, but I'm going to do it anyway. Have fun. Good night. I'll see you kids soon.